Are you looking to stretch your dollar as far as you can? Truck breakdowns can be expensive and stressful, especially when dealing with a parts shortage. In this video, Jason will give you 3 tips to avoid costly breakdowns.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm a shop manager with ATS in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I've been in the industry for about 12 years now. And on a daily basis, I'm responsible for overseeing a shop of mechanics, about 45 of them right now, and getting maintenance done on trucks and trailers throughout the day. Step 1, scheduled preventative maintenance. You want to make sure you're ahead of time with that. You want to know what your truck needs and when it needs to be done. Couple key reasons for that. One, we all know what we're facing right now, part shortage. Labor shortage across the country. There are so many shops right now, it takes weeks to get into. So being ahead of the game, understanding that stuff, knowing you're approaching those time frames will greatly help you get in and out of the shop and get things repaired ahead of time. A couple key points on that would be an overhead adjustment on a truck. Your preventative maintenance oil change intervals, the decarbon on a PACC-R engine, your DPF changeout, even as small as an air filter. If you don't do your preventative maintenance on time as they require, there are items and things that they can call null and void on warranty, and that money comes out of your pocket to fix that. Another key point on that is when you are driving through the road, you guys know the trucks more than anybody. It doesn't matter what anybody tells you, you guys drive it, you understand every little noise that happens, you understand every little creak and crack that takes place. You're really well in tune with your truck. Write down the things that are wrong with the truck. Very, very important, helps us as a maintenance shop address your concerns appropriately. One last thing I want to mention to you about preventative maintenance and getting your repairs scheduled ahead of time and not pushing them off is the cost over the road. In the recent years, we've seen a pretty big uptick in cost. Just a call-out fee alone can be hundreds and hundreds of dollars, not to mention the per mile charge they charge you just to come out and look at your asset. It's very important that when you know these things are taking place, or you have a suspicion of it, or you're at a shop, get them addressed, because the cost over the road is astronomical, and your load could mean nothing for you besides just to have them come out and change an air cleaner, a fuel filter, or change a tire. It's very costly, so I highly advise that when you have that opportunity, stop at the shop, talk to your service agent, and get that repair done right then and there. Second point I want to make is about winterizing your truck. I live in a northern climate. A lot of you over-the-road drivers will go through a northern climate at some point. We all know the winters get really cold. It's very, very simple from my aspect anyway. There's a couple products you can put in your tanks. There's an anti-gel solution, Arctic Power Service Power, and there's a diesel 911. I'll talk about the Arctic Power Service. Why that's so important is when you go to a northern climate, diesel fuel will gel up. The paraffin in the diesel will wax. It'll clog your filter, it will shut down your truck. One thing you want to do is always remember to put that in when you're going to go to a northern climate. So it's not easy to remember when you're driving from the south to the north. You're in warm climates, the temperatures are nice, but it's going to get cold. Know where you're going, know the temperatures of where you're going. And then when you stop in the northern hemisphere, when you come about Des Moines, Iowa, they start selling these products because let's be real, that's where it starts to get really cold. Go buy some bottles of that, but read the bottle. It might say it treats up to 100 gallons, but you need to flip the bottle over and you need to actually read up to 100 gallons at what temperature. So if you're going to end up going to some place that's 20 below, one bottle's not going to cut it. The rule of thumb is buy a case of it. So you need to understand that. You also need to change over from number 2 diesel to a winter blend diesel fuel. Those 2 things right there will definitely help you out. Now say you have a problem, your truck did gel up, your fuel filter's clogged, you can use diesel 911 at that time. That right there will cut the paraffin in the diesel and return it back to diesel fuel. But one thing that gets forgotten about a lot of times, you still have to put power service back in the tanks. The 911 will cut it, return it back to fuel, but if you continue to drive, it will gel up on you again if you don't have that preventative anti-gel in there. When you go park for the night, one big mistake people make is they set their brakes right away. Well, what happens when you're driving on the road, the brakes heat up on the drums, they create a lot of heat, snow, ice will melt on that and then freeze in the drum. One way to prevent that is don't set your brakes right away when you get to a truck stop. Let them cool down a little bit, or set them and then release them, move it back and forth a little bit, and then reset the brakes while they came down to temp. I would always carry a hammer with me. If I was driving on the road, definitely have one with me. We have a lot of service calls that go out because brakes are frozen. And just to have somebody come out and hit your brakes with a hammer, you're paying a lot of money for it. So go ahead, bring one with you, get underneath there, smack the drums, release the brakes that way. A couple of items you can stock up on is one, if you're going to be going to northern climates, there's a lot of states that do require tire change, tire cables. A lot of drivers I talk to say that if it gets that bad, I'm not driving through it, I'll park for the night, wait for the roads to open up. totally understand safety on that aspect. Carry airline antifreeze with you as well. With your trucks in the wintertime, the compressors, they will produce condensation that will get into your tanks. You need to drain your tanks daily. You want to keep that moisture out of your tanks because that will feed right into your trailer system and it will cause problems on there. It will freeze the brake valve. So having some of the isopropyl alcohol airline antifreeze is a really good idea. Dump it down your glad hands, let it circulate for a while. It will help loosen up any ice that's in there. And if you are going to go to northern climates, like anything else, even in your personal vehicle, make sure you have a warm set of clothes with you, boots, gloves, hats, all those different things. And if you really want to prepare, have a little emergency kit with you in case things do get cold. And it does happen. So just a couple items for you guys to keep yourself safe while you're out there on the road, especially in the cold climates. The third item I want to talk to you about is pre and post trip inspections. It's a very important step to do, especially as a driver. And one thing you want to do before you take off for the day, check your load and make sure it's secure. Make sure all your lights are on, release your brakes in your trailer, make sure everything moves, and go around and look at the truck, look at your tire. A lot of tire blowouts happen. They happen especially as we get towards the summer months with the heat. One low pressure tire is not carrying the weight, the other one is, and it's very simple for them to ruin them both. So it is important that you complete your inspections. I would make sure and do a tug test on your truck and trailer. Make sure that kingpin is tight inside your fifth wheel. You hear about a lot of times they park overnight. People like to be mean. They'll actually pull the fifth wheel handle on it. You'll go down the road and make your first turn and your trailer's on the ground. Very, very important to check. Everything you would normally check to make sure it's safe, you want to do that kind of stuff. The other thing about that is when you do complete a pre-trip inspection, post-trip inspection, and you find items, put them on your maintenance log, put them on a list of repairs that you think you need to get done. And as you find these things, don't delay them. When you see them and there are issues and they need to be addressed for the safety of yourself and others on the road, get them fixed. And if you can make it to a shop so you don't have to have a call-out fee on that. They're very important. They are DOT required that you do pre and post-trip inspections. They may not seem like much, but they are very crucial to the step of safety and for yourselves so you guys can keep making money on the road.
Focus on finding a good carrier that provides good equipment and prioritizes preventative maintenance. When you do, you'll have a support system that takes care of you to ensure that you're up and running. If you want to learn more about making your dollar go further, check out our article on how to maximize your income, linked below. Thanks again for tuning in to another edition of Over the Road on the Truck Driving channel. We make videos like this every week, so if you found this to be helpful, give the video a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the road.